You buy the flashcards. You download the app that promises to boost vocabulary by 2 years old. You sign up for the class with the bright mats and the songs in 3 languages. And somewhere in the middle of all that spending and scheduling, something much smaller slips right past you. Something free, something that takes seconds, and something researchers at Harvard have spent decades quietly proving matters more than almost anything else you can buy. Here's the strange part. It's not really about what you're doing wrong. It's about what you're accidentally skipping. There are ordinary, well-meaning habits. The phone check during breakfast, the rushed diaper change, the toy that talks instead of you, that one by one are pulling tiny moments away from your baby without you ever noticing. 9 of them, actually, and they all trace back to one single idea, something scientists call serve and return. I'll tell you exactly what that means in a minute, because once you see it, you'll notice it everywhere, in every quiet exchange between you and your baby that you didn't know was building a brain. Serve and return is simple once you see it. Your baby serves a coo, a look, a pointed finger, a cry, and you return it back with a word, a face, a touch. That back and forth, that little rally, is what actually wires a baby's brain. Not flashcards, not screens, just this loop, repeated hundreds of times a day in ways so small most parents never think to count them. Picture a baby lying on a blanket on the kitchen floor. She's maybe 8 months old. Her mother is chopping vegetables a few feet away. The baby knocks a wooden spoon against the floor, once, twice, and looks up. Not really at the spoon, but at her mother's face, checking. Did anyone notice? Does this matter? Her mother glances over, smiles, and says, "Oh, you found the drum," and taps 2 fingers on the counter in the same rhythm. The baby pauses, then bangs the spoon again, faster this time, watching her mother's face light up again in response. That's the whole moment. 15 seconds, maybe less. Nothing about it looks like development. No worksheet, no milestone chart, no app tracking progress. But inside that 15 seconds, the baby is learning that her actions cause reactions, that her voice reaches another person, that the world responds to her. She's practicing cause and effect, rhythm, attention, and something even bigger, the early wordless sense that she is seen. Multiply that moment by dozens of times a day across months, and you start to understand what's actually being built. The quiet truth is this: your baby isn't waiting for you to teach her something, she's waiting for you to notice her. The Center on the Developing Child at Harvard University has spent years studying exactly this kind of interaction, and their researchers describe it plainly. These small, responsive exchanges are what physically shape a baby's brain architecture in the earliest years. Not through anything elaborate, through ordinary noticing. A parent catching a baby's glance, naming what she's focused on, waiting for her to respond, then responding again. Scientists have found that babies who consistently get this kind of responsive back and forth tend to build stronger foundations for language, emotional regulation, and even stress resilience later on. The brain, in those early years, is organizing itself around whether the world reliably answers back. And there's an experiment that shows what happens when that answering stops, even for a moment. It's called the still face experiment, first done by psychologist Edward Tronick in the 1970s. A mother sits across from her baby and plays normally, smiling, talking, responding to every little serve. The baby is delighted, reaching out, babbling, completely at ease. Then, on cue, the mother's face goes blank, flat, no expression at all. She keeps looking at her baby, but she stops responding. Within seconds, the baby notices. She tries harder, smiling bigger, pointing, squealing, doing everything she knows how to do to get her mother back. When nothing works, something in her changes. She looks away. Her body slumps slightly. Some babies cry. It only takes a couple of minutes before the mother smiles again, starts responding again, and almost instantly the baby brightens and reconnects like nothing happened. That short experiment has been repeated thousands of times since then, and it reveals something both unsettling and reassuring. Babies notice immediately when the returns stop coming. but they also recover immediately the moment they start again. This isn't about never looking at your phone or never having a distracted moment. Every parent does, every single day, and that's completely normal. It's not about being a perfectly responsive parent every second. It's about the pattern, the general rhythm of your days. A missed serve here and there doesn't stunt anything. It's when responding becomes rare, buried under habits that quietly crowd it out, that something is lost. And the good news tucked inside all this research is simple. You don't need money, training, or extra time to fix it. You just need to notice the serve. Here are 3 small habits that quietly bring servant return into your day. First, narrate what your baby is already doing instead of redirecting her. If she's staring at the ceiling fan, you don't need to hand her a toy. Just say, "You're watching it spin, aren't you? Round and round." That single sentence is a full return. Second, build in a pause after anything your baby does. When she babbles, count to 3 in your head before you respond. That pause is what teaches her that her voice creates space, that someone is waiting to hear it. Third, turn one ordinary task a day into a pure back and forth. No phone, no multitasking, just your face and her cues. You might say, "There's your foot, where's the other one?" and wait for her to kick it into view. That's the whole game. Now compare that to the flashcard set, the talking toy, the app promising early reading. Those things aren't harmful, but they can't do what your face does. A screen doesn't notice when your baby glances away, confused, and adjusts. A toy doesn't wait. Only a real person watching and responding in real time can give a baby what her brain is actually built to look for. That's not a marketing claim. It's just what the research keeps finding over and over in study after study. And this is bigger than any single skill. These tiny rallies repeated across thousands of ordinary moments are what teach a baby that she matters, that the world is safe, that people can be trusted to respond. That's not just brain development, that's the beginning of security itself, the kind she'll carry into every relationship she ever has. If you've made it this far, you're already the kind of parent who notices. You're already doing this more than you probably give yourself credit for. If this helped you see your baby a little differently today, consider sharing it. Some other tired parent scrolling at midnight wondering if they're doing enough might need to hear it too. Because in the end, your baby was never waiting for the flashcards. She was only ever waiting for you to look up.